Hello, beautiful dreamers. How are you doing tonight? Welcome back to the Zenaplex. Make yourself comfortable. Chillax. Stay a while. This is your place to unwind, enjoy yourself, and be at peace as your mind wanders through your dreams. But it's good to see y'all. What's going on? Come on in. Wait, he's live before midnight. Oh god, it's not midnight. You know, I should fix that, silly goblin. Let me think that. Let's see. Wait, he's live really after midnight. Here we go. There we go. I realized I forgot to update that. Thank you for calling that out. But hello, everyone. Hello, Sin. I saw you on the YouTube side, Zoe. Hello to you. Hello, Wing Zero. Who else we got? Who am I seeing? I see Danny in there. I am seeing... Hey, Jethist. It's been a minute. Hello, Angel. Hello, Valerie. Hello, Violet. Silly Goblin again. Hello, Lion. Yeet the fish. And hello, Jester. I know. I'm actually streaming a convenient time for you right now. But come on in, make yourself comfortable. How's your weekend starting? Had a nice Friday night? Good Saturday for those of y'all who have time traveled to the far-flung future of Eastern time zones? Do I believe in tarot cards? That's a good question. Why? Is there some magic that you want to share from the tarot? Birthday on April 22nd. Birthday is April 22nd, birthday tomorrow. I don't think it's April 22nd quite yet. We're still a little far from that. But not 5 in the morning. I know, it's actually like... Let me think about that. What is it for you? Time zone conversion. I think it's 8 o'clock, right? Daylight, yeah, don't talk about daylight time. No, we hate daylight time around here. I am very happy that in my world, I don't have to deal too much with time. Perpetual dusk, perpetual twilight, perpetual night. It's a nice place to be. It's relaxing. Never blinding lights. But 8:30, there we go. Okay, I mean, you know, fair enough. Half-hour time zone in there. I'm just looking at the hour, all of a sudden I'm going, wait, is it? Okay, there we go. Yes, half past the hour. Me and all my homies, and by my homies I mean me, hate daylight time. Daylight time is icky. It is poo-poo. It is caca. Please do a YouTube video reaction of Gravity Rush. I mean, we might be able to do something like that in the future. You know, maybe a little support. I know I'm going to be doing a reaction to a very funny independent animation where totally nothing unhappy will ever happen as you hear the music just flood through the room. Da, 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 la da 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 da. As everyone in chat is like, shut! Do not talk about that. And hello, Lorelai. How are you doing? It is late for you. How you be tonight? What's going on? I was gonna say, weren't you? I forget. Was tonight one of the nights that you were collabing? I think Friday. It's normally. Is it normally Revy that you do things with on Friday night? I'm trying to think about that for a second. And anyway, for what's wrong with daylight time? Because in the waking world, daylight time is something by adjusting the clock for those who deal with sleep issues. The challenge of losing an hour, so you need to adjust and still operate within the same quote-unquote hours, but now with an hour adjusted, some people adjust terribly to that, or just straight up don't adjust. So it is a massive inconvenience where all of a sudden, you know, you got one night where it's like, surprise, you're going to have to wake up early. How do you feel about that? I hate it. And once upon a long time ago, back when many more clocks were manual, the things you'd have to go through to make sure to adjust it so you wake up and it's like, Wait, what do you mean it's... Oh, it's noon, right? No, it's 1. What? Yes, I'll be very happy when daylight time is deleted from the timeline in the waking world. Permanent standard time. I know there's a little bit of debate that people go on to, where they're like, do you want permanent standard time, the correct answer, or for some reason like permanent daylight time, where you get extra late night sun hours. And I'm of the mindset where let the twilight be beautiful, let things get cool, let things calm down. You don't want to have the sun into the middle of the night. I mean, it can be quite fascinating to see the midnight sun depending on where you might happen to be in the waking world, but the night is a beautiful time. It's a beautiful place. And hello, I live numb. Or Little Venom, there we go. Now I see. I'm like, wait a minute, how do I break that up? Hello, Blue Rose. Are you the rose who is coming in? Oh boy. Thank you. POV, you are late for school. I would be running out the door with a slice of toast in my mouth. And, of course, in my sailor uniform, as I am, with, fortunately, the animators making sure that no one's getting any creep shots as I'm running down the street, just panicking to get to school on time. You know, being late for Dragon School and all that stuff. And then managing to bump into my senpai, have a Doki Doki moment where it's like, stupid baka senpai, it's not like I like you or anything. Baka. Has anyone seen The Devil May Cry anime on Netflix? Not yet, I've not seen that one. My feed for some reason, I don't know if anyone remembers back where there's this Russian song called Ava. And it's the one where you would go on TikTok and hear the meme, lonely, lonely, I guess I'm lonely, Russian. So you see then Dante dancing about with a slice of pizza in his mouth. So that's been all of a sudden showing up in my feed. I'm seeing that, I'm seeing original animations, so it's like I'm getting plenty of Dante, which it's Dante, so it's just, Dante being a derp. Being a dorky old dumbass old man. Stretch already? I haven't even started. Alright, gonna have a little. POV, Dream Dragon flexing his ginormous man titties in front of heavy weapons guy, making everyone faint, including the guys. Oh my. Well, now there's some heavy artillery. Boom, boom, boom. Just stretch up, loosen out. Got that one button holding on for dear life. Pop. How are we feeling about the new Kira plushie? Oh, yes. It's not a want, it is a need. So, funny you should mention that. So there's a little indie animation out there called Farfetched, which will be done by this year's end. And Farfetched has an adorable little demonic sparkle dog with anime hair named Kira, who's part of the main gang. Little purple dog, eldritch horror, as all little purple dogs with anime hair are. And so, the Farfetch'd team just released a new plushie. Collaboration with U2's even. And so that voice actor I sound like who shows up here from time to time, he's seen it, and, I need to get him. He might have a need. But anyway, for any of y'all who are looking for good indie animation, it's awesome. Go check it out. And the Kira plushies are just plain out. They're just plain cute. I think they're probably going to be in production over the summer. I saw from someone they're probably going to be coming out in August. Is my tail that big and heavy? Maybe. Smiles big and wide. Recall about Gravity Rush is that the protag had amnesia but got gravity powers from a magic cat. That sounds like anime. I'm intrigued. So yeah, funny, it far-fetched how it sounds like the Pokemon name. And there's just a term, far-fetched, for something that's strange, out there, seemingly untrue. So yeah, it is an indie animation. It's made by Ashley Nichols and Dave Capdeville. So Dave has written many things. One of the big things that he's known for a lot of his VHS horror stuff that he likes to do, a lot of Elvira type comedy horror stuff, and he was also the writer on a certain Hell show that was released once upon a lifetime ago, where they had a song, "Inside of every demon is a rainbow," and Ashley Nichols, animator, and also the voice of Zobel from The Amazing Digital Circus, amongst many other things. And lots of other cool people as well. Did I see the art where my soul left my body? Maybe. As I pull up the fan art rotation. So, I was doing some additions. I was adding everything in, making sure I got that all up to date. Does my tail hurt after when it stretches? I mean, if I manage to kink my tail, it can be a little sore. But I'm pretty good at using my tail. I know how to bounce this thing around. Some of y'all have seen some of the fan art depictions where I've actually got Bat Zetta.
Welcome, dreamer.
And welcome, Vanessa. Thank you for the follow. But where our little residential bat pet, in a way, when she's just floating around the Zettaplex, just all of a sudden, twist my tail up. She just perches, just wraps her talons around. I'm just trying to think about that. Are bats considered to have talons, or would they be feet? Pause. I think feet. But just clink. Can I bounce on it like Tigger? You want to see me bounce on it, though? Blink, blink, blink. I don't normally bounce, but I do lounge on it. So, it's nice to have a kickstand. One kickstand going back, one kickstand going forward. I'm sorry, what? But yes, Farfetched is going to be a lot of fun when it makes it out. Yes, and I should also mention that Zetta. So she'll pop up in the rotation a little bit, but designed by Leota there in chat right now. How she has brought our little girl to life, introduced her to the Zettaplex. And hello, Minako. I see those creatures. Bats, flying rats, same difference. I mean, I think she... Rats can be cute. She's very fluffy. She's got little beady eyes. Biggest thing, in fact, you know what? There right now. Let me just grab. There we go. Oh, hold on. Oh, so that's actually the close-up. There we go. There she is. Speaking of which, Twilight Daydreamer had done this one, and so yes, just got bats, just wrapping around. Bat. Hello, Star. How you be tonight, my friend? So yes, rat may be food. Bat is not. If we get a snack that shows up, then all of a sudden, might want to hide your rats. Bats will probably be okay. Speaking of art, I believe, Jester, there's yours right there. Anyway, we be kind to all creatures. As long as they are not assholes. Even if they are assholes, as long as they're cute about it. Time to go then? Well, Zoe, have a good night. Rest well. Be well. And may you have beautiful dreams. A photo shoot. Yas King. Strutting your stuff for the camera, eh? Speaking of snack. I didn't even plan that. I'll just all of a sudden it's like, yes, hide your rats in case you have snake. Snake! Snake! Oh, it's a snake! We got snack. By the way, give me one moment. One sec. There we are. What about cat? I mean, cat can be cute too. One challenge of cat. Oh boy. The dragon is allergic to cats. So just make sure you're bringing some Sudafed in case you bring any cats in here. I'm happy to host any emotional support animals as long as they're well behaved. But, emotional support dog, emotional support cat, emotional support wolf, emotional support rat, bat, snack. I'm trying to think if there are any emotional support animals where I'm kind of like, maybe like an emotional support roach. Or if you got that, I'm questioning your choices. But if someone found a box of pew-pews and kabooms lying around, no you didn't. Oh, really? Emotional support T-Rex. Well, I will say the T-Rex is going to have to stay in a certain part of the Zetaplex because I'm going to have to manifest something that a guy that big can fit into. I try to make sure we got some pretty good clearance, but that's one where I kind of gotta make a little bit of a special accommodation. You can't get a snack because your dad hates snacks too much. That's unfortunate. Doing some fan art. Ooh, well, I do enjoy seeing fan art. Speaking of cats, I feel like y'all have memorized the rotation of fan art at this point, that you're calling out the animals to set them up in time. And then all of a sudden I'm going, man, how perfectly timed this is. And also, man, I hope I didn't separate any of fan art into the wrong folder. Anyway, I'm sorry, what? Emotional support nuke. Golly, we'll just be riding that guy like Jack D. Ripper. Just released from the plane, heading on down. After they put fluoride in the water. Do I have an emotional support animal? Well, that's has become one. I tend to like some solitude, though, so, you know, just having nice peace and quiet where we are. Ah, good night already. Too late for you, my friend? Well then, Wing Zero, may you have a beautiful night. May you have sweet dreams. And as you drift away into a peaceful abyss, may you feel the warmth of your heart spread through your body. May you feel your fuzzy pup cuddled up next to you. And may you see a calm, soft light that can guide you back to the hours of the waking. So, until you return to the Zetaplex, good night. Up at 7, ew. Ew. Fair enough. I know normally I was going, oh yeah, you're gonna be happy that I'm streaming so late. Now you're like, fucker, I've got to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning. Oops. Do I want to be broken into 3 pieces? That feels like a loaded question, Blue Rose. Are we talking like Tetrominoes, where, alright, everything tessellates and just kind of cracks apart? Are you talking about something that's got to go under the alt tag? How else could be broken in 3 pieces? How does that work? I gotta think about that. Awake at 6:30 in the morning. Early. Emotional support demon. Well, you know, that's nice. I know. It's like the opposite of a sleep paralysis demon, to have an emotional support demon, where they're gently rousing you in the morning, like, come on, get up, wake up, hello, come on. A blue goggles boy from Minecraft. I don't think I know anyone with blue goggles from Minecraft. I'm trying to think if I recognize anyone who's got blue goggles, but I don't think so off the top of my head. Being broken like a Tony did last night. Oh my god. So for anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, so my VTuber papa, Jay, was doing he was doing an art stream. And so Jay has got a very chill, cozy vibe art stream. And Rigatoni is one of his regulars, VIP even. So, and fellow VTuber as well. So Rigatoni, who goes live, and, you know, he's pasta. But he ended up having this night where Jay has got a lot of D&D flavored stuff. And you can roll D20 and see what your fate is. You might get some extra channel points if you get a D20. You might just get a roll. Or you might get a nat 1 and then just, you're timed out, your messages are deleted, and sucks to be you. So somehow Broski just kept rolling nat 1s. And just there was about 3 or 4 out of 5 rolls. Just nat 1, nat 1, nat 1. And every time you're hearing the Price is Right, boom, 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 boom. which is kind of tragic, but also hilarious. So just watching as every few minutes, every time he comes back to roll the d20 again, just ends up getting bodied with it. I go, it's kind of fun to have a d20 like that. I'm not one who has played, well, actually, I'll be real with you, I've never played a Dungeons & Dragons campaign, but it's a fun thing. And, knowing the fantasy, like the easiest way to describe myself, someone helped with that, where I go, how do I describe what I am to those who visit? And someone said, you're a dream dragon. You have the power through a colorful chromatic breath to give people visions. Which I went, well, hell, who frickin' wrote me into this game? So yeah, easy way of describing oneself. You're just going to let me know that what I saw in your domain, that person isn't dead. They're just not showing any emotions. That's why they look lifeless. Okay, so they're just depressed. Got it. Got it. Noted. All right, we'll get them signed up for a ketamine treatment. Perfect. Done. Well, draw. Y'all make art. Y'all make good art. Y'all be creative. 2 litters of puppies. Oh, Great Pyrenees, part Anatolian Shepherd. Oh, big puppies, big fuzzballs. Oh, so I want to pet all of them. I want all of them. I'm taking all of them. I've commandeered all of them right now. Question between who would win in a fight? That's Sweet Boy, or I assume you mean another Minecraft YouTube boy. I'm gonna say the Sweet Boy, because when he's pissed, oh, he is a psycho. And he will massacre anyone when he's pushed too far. So that's my call for that. I say that without any bias, knowing that voice actor I sound like who visits from time to time has some connections to him. But in that case, no, it's just... he is a sweet psycho. And hello, Gamma Churchill. Come on in. We're streaming late. Just enjoying the night, relaxing. Yeah, you're right. I know, Danny, a lot of y'all chill out in Jay streams. I know a lot. I love seeing the crossover we have in chat. Where especially, I know YouTube, I know y'all are on your side, but with Twitch, seeing how y'all cross over to Jay, cross over to Lorelei, some of y'all hang out with Mandy, Floral, Peachy Dragon Dow. I know I've seen some of y'all watching his stuff. I love seeing just the mashup and mixing of communities and just the creation, all the energy of what people get up to bit by bit. It's magical. Bat? Hello, Bats. What you doing, girl? So, all about... it's nice to see the shared magic of creation. One had 6 puppy, one had 8 puppies. Heck, that is a heck ton of puppies. That is a lot of puppies. That is a lot of poop. Hippopotamonstrous, you know what, motomotophilia, there we go. Let's just go with that. Everyone likes motomoto. Just a multiverse crossover. Bat? We have more bat. Fell asleep and woke up confused. Well, as long as it was a good dream, that's what matters. I don't take offense if anyone falls asleep. You know, just put in your lurker point, and then just chill out. Close your eyes. I haven't done an ASMR stream yet, but, you know, it's just nice to relax. And I hope that you can find some peace and rest in your time visiting here. After all, one of the most beautiful things you can experience is just to be able to close your eyes and drift away into a dream. I think it's one of the most wonderful things, at least. Yeah, I know, 14 puppies. We're getting the 101 Dalmatians territory right there. Oh, which actually was 15 now that I think about it. Huh, funny that. Saw a pit bull with a pacifier. Oh my god, that is adorable. That is... You know, pit bulls, they get a bad rap. I mean, you know, of course, they could hurt you. They got some jaws of steel. They're just giant things of muscle. But they are so sweet when they've been raised well in a loving environment. A little slobbery, but you know what? Big dogs. And Jester, may you enjoy your breakfast. Enjoy. Bone apple tea, as they said. And Silly Goblin, may you have a beautiful night. May you have sweet dreams. And as you close your eyes and enter your mind palace, may you feel a sense of peace, of airy openness surrounding you, as you can just drift away, follow wherever your mind goes, and eventually see a soft light that will guide you back to the world of the waking. So, until you return to the Zetaplex, good night. Checked my channel for about 6 times. I know, you know, I should one of these days actually announce my stream times. I know my streaming is extremely erratic. Like, it's about 7 p.m. Central when I say, yes, here is the aim when I'm going to try to go live. And here it's about 1 a.m. Central that I go live instead. Well, but nonetheless, I'm happy to open the doors for you all, for you to come rest, relax, and drift away. I claim a hydrate routine for myself, but... Toe beans, do you have a whoa? So I don't have beans. I do have claws, but I don't, you know, it's a good question. I don't think I'd consider them beans. Usually most people, whenever they see my feet, they're like, oh my god, feet, why, don't put those grippers away. And I'm just going, is it that bad to walk around barefoot? I mean, you know, I know they're large, but, you know, they're just there. But nah, I don't have any beans or pads on me. So, going to suck anime. Have fun. Go enjoy a con. And you got a Frankie pin. You know, Frankie is best girl. Frankie from Knights of Guinevere. I'm very scared what is going to happen to Frankie, because already I can see Dana Terrace and the entire crew. I'm sorry, I know the other 2 creators, as they always blank out in my mind. Those girls are gonna go through some pain. There's going to be a lot of terror and probably some gore in that series. But Frankie, she's just got the mindset of a Disney princess. She just sees sparkles everywhere she looks. She just looks off in the distance and goes, I'm wishing for the something something. You think I've seen in Snow White enough times I'd actually remember the song, but you know what? We'll use a different one. A wish is a dream your heart makes, and when you are asleep. Have I watched The Land Before Time? Oh no. Oh, The Land Before Time. That is emotional damage condensed into 2 hours. It is a Don Bluth masterpiece. But that movie, oh. Don Bluth pulls no punches. Don Bluth, man, when he broke off from Disney to go work with Amblin and create his own original works, he's made some of the greatest 2D animation pieces of all time. But that movie, even just knowing some of the story behind the production of it, oh, it's... I won't get into too much detail, but let's just say there's many sad stories that are tied into The Land Before Time. But when you wish upon a star, there you go. When you wish upon a star, Makes no difference who you are. Let me see. You know, I don't get that. It's been a minute. Chopper. Man, that Land Before Time. It is a beautiful piece of animation, but man, it is hard. There we go. When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. Anything your heart desires will come to you. If your heart is in your dream, no request is too extreme. When you wish upon a star as dreamers do. And you collar me for that. Wow. Amazing. Hex is from Fern Gully. Oh, now there's a movie I haven't thought of in a hot minute. Before I get too distracted, though, of course, now that I'm collared. Bella, have a good night. May you have sweet dreams. And as you drift away into a peaceful abyss, may you have a warm light that guides you back to the world of the waking. So, until we meet again, good night. Time to sing Chandelier. Okay, but now here's the thing. Am I doing original Chandelier or am I doing Moulin Rouge Chandelier? Because I feel like we got some slight variations we can go between with the two. And I've got my biases personally, but... Because I was trying to think. Chandelier was... Yeah, if I remember correctly. I'm the only streamer you like because you don't like anyone else? Well, shucks, that's a high honor. I'm happy to be someone you don't hate. Anyway, where were we? Who's that headband? Is that a... Okay, that's a Mandy. I was going to say the blue hair looked like Mandy. I just had to think about it for a second. Once Upon a Dream. Well, I thank you for the bits, Blue Rose. Do I? Once Upon a Dream. Once Upon a Dream. I feel like I should know this one. Once Upon a Dream. What is that from? Oh. I apologize. I don't know if I can fulfill that. Because I do not know Lana Del Rey's stuff well enough. Nice. Let's see. Yeah, I do apologize. I'm afraid I don't know it well enough. I'd have to stop things and listen to the song to familiarize myself with it. But, yes. Why that person has no emotions anymore? Oh no, I'm almost scared to ask. I hope it's not because depression. Please tell me it's something funnier than because depression. Because in that case, you hand them off to me and it's like, okay, Dream Dragon, do your job. Help this one. Help them find a will to be passionate again. An angel, I saw you. So, bringing up a story, what are your thoughts about AI not eligible for copyright? Good. Yes. So, anything AI generated being denied the ability to be copyrighted is at least a very small victory. So, for all of the artistic poison that generative AI has been, and all the tech bros like, come on, man, get one of the times. You need to, it's here to stay. You gotta keep up with the technology. Fuck off. No. The fact that it can't be legally copyrighted is a strong disincentive. So especially all the big corpos that are trying to be cheap, and unfortunately there's been enough scandals where McDonald's makes an AI slop commercial, And then Dr. Pepper makes an AI slop commercial. Pepsi actually, makes a good marketing thing and goes, hey, well, we're not going to create an AI slop marketing commercial. Also, Coca-Cola, fuck Coca-Cola and the entire Coca-Cola Corporation. And unfortunately, you'll see a lot of big corpos will probably try to weasel their way into figuring out how they can copyright the quote-unquote human-made elements of it. But at least as a victory, especially given all of the sketchy breaking of IP to train a lot of these models, where you've got Mother Zucker of Meta, who has been caught actually downloading terabytes of torrents of ebooks to train his LLM llama. And the fact that this is widespread corporate piracy that to this date many have gotten away with. And you've got others like the Disney Corporation who are trying to make weaselly deals with OpenAI going, okay, we're going to allow you to use some of our characters with this financial kickback. So, as far as I'm concerned, it is a poison that cannot be eliminated quickly enough. And I hope that it spreads. I believe there's been some legislation in the EU as well where they've tried to stop things like AI algorithmic evaluation of job applications and things like that. I'd have to check the exact thing. But where they're trying to stop these systems that are used for cheap automation, which end up hurting individuals in the long run. Now, of course, I don't want to talk about things from the waking world too much, but we all agree it's slop. And I hope that any sloperators, well, hopefully it's like when they invested 1 billion Bitcoin into an NFT and it became a worthless JPEG after 6 months. And also a question I saw from Proto E, is it head voice or falsetto in regards to... But yeah, I am very happy to see any failures of AI slop. And I've not seen much that's actually been a positive impact. I won't belabor it too much because it really comes down to financial chicanery, double standards of corporate piracy, these POSs who are constantly trying to get special deals from governments. Even now, OpenAI spending themselves into hundreds of billions of dollars where they have no financial path to profitability and then being like, so, Daddy Trump, can you kind of bail us out? We kind of made a mistake. Can you kind of give us a little extra money? Bro, fuck off. Make like a Japanese CEO who's run his company into the ground and make a choice that you can't reverse. If you catch my drift. Commit slapuku. There we go. In Minecraft. There is, yeah. And I've seen nothing positive. And, it really is just a get rich quick scheme. And even seeing when some creators have resorted to AI-generated scripts, AI-generated art, and slop like that. It's awful. The worst Pepsi ever did is the 349 incident back in 1992. Oh dear, now I'm curious. The 349 incident. Is this a cultural thing I was not familiar with? What is this story? Pepsi number fev. Okay, this was a... Ooh, yeah, that... I had not heard about this till now. Causing a riot. Everyone trying to get prizes. Yikes. Phew. That is wild. Holy heck. And Naya-chan saying, that would be funny, but no, I took their emotions. And if you're wondering why they were being... because they were being an asshole, well, fair enough. Have I seen bot comments on YouTube? Oh, Plenty. I've seen so many channels where, you get the biggest fan of a channel who happens to have taken a profile picture that suspiciously looks like their butt with a comment that says, oh, they're so great at creating. Click on my camgirl link at www.freecontentforyoureyesonly local hot e-girls in your local area.com with a username Peaches347. So yes, we create around here. I'm always like, I know I push the Discord a lot because one of the nice things is just seeing creators come in and seeing the creators in our community and how, especially with some of the art streamers, that some of y'all have been joining their, what's the word I'm looking for? Well, just art showcases. I was thinking of, what else it's called? Thank you.
Ye, hit that.
Oh yeah, no. The whole, I don't want to talk too much about YouTube because a lot of the YouTube ecosystem is a mess. The comment section is a mess. The slop proliferation is a mess. I care about just seeing creation, something to inspire someone. Art, by its very nature, is inspirational. And there's a saying, if you are not inspired, you expire. So, inspiration is like magic. And it's all about creating something that just adds beauty, adds spice, adds value to life. Really, in the end, gives you a will to live. Everyone tries to find their purpose one way or another. Comes up from time to time. Some who visit me here. It's rare that I ever let anyone wander outside the Zetaplex. Very expansive world. A lot of nothing. Sometimes it's beautiful in the stark, but there's one path past this palace of crystal memories. But there's a point where if you go past it on that path, a threshold where if you cross it, you can't come back. I will always advise someone, rest, recharge, and consider very carefully what choice you make when you visit here. I'm happy to host anyone for what time they need to rest and recover, and get the strength to take that light back to the waking world. But anyway, Bat. I miss Bats again. I always miss her every time. So. Stay hydrated, y'all. Delicious Beepus. It is rich in moisture. Or a little hot. Collar me again. I can't believe y'all. Can't believe y'all. Oh my god. Y'all just love putting me in a collar. Y'all like making Jay bald and you like putting me in a collar. Can't believe y'all. Can't believe y'all. And then Lorelai, y'all just like getting stepped on. Me too, please. Anyway, I'm sorry. What? Which is loud today? Hi. Good morning, Ash. How you be? Or is it good night? Are you up late or early this time? Was working with Ash, who has been doing some stuff for his streams. I don't know if any of y'all have been following some of his stuff, but just debuted a new look courtesy of Tuxel, which that's right about the cue where I get an Ooga Booga in chat. I swear, she is summoned from La France every time I happen to mention her name. But she's been doing... Tuxel did a new model for Ash, and Ash and I, we were working on some things with a V-Bridger so he can go live with that. Mourning for you, yes. I mean, if you could make me bald, you would. How cruel. Cruel. I can't believe y'all. I can't believe y'all. Well. Trying to deprive me of my long, luscious locks. Scandalous. I don't wish bald on anyone unless they deserve it. Bald is something to go. It's on the hierarchy of when you wish something should happen to someone in Minecraft. Bald is on that threshold. In fact, I would normally say I would wish something to happen to someone in Minecraft before baldness. Jay made me into the new Saja boy. What do I mean? Wait, did Jay make me into a Saja boy? What happened? Wait, okay, now I'm kind of confused for a second going, what did Jay do that I ended up as a Saja boy? Is it because I ended up as a worm? I mean, I certainly won't complain. If you need me to have the button holding on for its dear life and just, you're all I can think of every time I drink up. You're my soda pop, my little soda pop. Lol. But I know, yeah, I got one of his weaves. I got one of his weaves for Worm High. I should probably see if actually I can get modified Worm High with the weave. But anyway, yes, would you love me if I were a worm? Gotta call her name 3 times like Beetlejuice. Who dat? Oh yeah, Tuxel. Tuxel! 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 Ooga booga booga! Ba 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 da ba da ba da da. Actually, no. What I need to do for Tuxel in that case is Plague Doctor, Plague Doctor, Plague Doctor. Let me tell you a story. Immediately summon the chat. What in the Yankee Doodle? What time is it? It is time. It is time in the Zetaplex. In my world, it is time. Ow. Speaking of worm. It is morning time. It is late time. It is time. Sorry, I just gotten distracted by something interesting. Imagine at that very moment. I'm sure Ash right now is like poking Tuesday going, hey, girly, Pookie, wake up, wake up. And hello, Rubies, welcome in. The heart on me. It's a marking. I think that's the easiest way to describe it. It's part of me. One of these days I'll tell the story behind that. But just know, it's me. Sometimes one of the things about me that illuminates in the night. Can you get a hug? I think we can work that out. Where are you, Naya-chan? There you are. Here you go. Hug. 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 Hug, 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 hug. Man, that's a tight squeeze with a hug. Here you go. Hug in the arm. Got one of those as well. Hug, 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 hug. Yeet. Imagine at just that very moment. Let's see. What else is going on? What is going on? Yeah, I know it is late for a lot of y'all. Aside from the 2 Aussies we had for a moment, if we had Dandelion, then I know we'd have a Kiwi in here as well. I know we got Angel in the Far East as well, in the Philippines, so yeah. I love seeing, of course, I'll always say, you don't need to say where you come from in the world, but it is fun to see when someone does share that. Just to map it out and see whether someone's from East Coast, North America, West Coast, Canada, South America, all over Europe. We've had South Africa, and I want to say Egypt too. So gotten a few from Africa. I think Central Asia is the one where I haven't gotten too many yet. Pakistan. I know we've gotten Pakistan for Central Asia. And I'm trying to think, like, I'm not sure if we've gotten anyone from the Soviet Republic, like the Soviet republics yet. But I do love seeing wherever anyone has come from. Has the stream started? So it's been about an hour that we're into things right now. Keep forgetting to not lay on your side with your piercings. Ash, be careful with those. Don't make sure they don't migrate or anything. Just got kicked out. That's weird. Didn't do anything. Might be Twitch being stupid. And hello, Sophie. Come on in. Make yourself comfortable. Just vibing for right now. Might play a game. Might do something. I know I say it all the time where I go, I don't plan out a lot of my streams. I tend to like just jumping in and kind of figuring things out based on the mood. Figuring out just where we go with things. Sometimes just hanging out for 2 hours is nice. I know, especially being a side sleeper can suck with new piercings. But no script, just vibe. It's my form of cozy. Cozy chaos, if you will. Teehee. 3-year-old sister. Piercing's a 3. Okay, fair enough. Just tell her don't mess around with those things, because, you know, one of the things of new piercings, I imagine probably lobe piercings, so something that's very forgiving. But just tell her, don't touch it. Don't touch it. Wash your hands and then don't touch it. And Naya-chan, may you have a good night. May you have sweet dreams. And as you drift away into a peaceful abyss, may you see a warm light that just washes over your inner self and shows you a way back to the waking world. So, until you return to the Zetaplex, good night. Bat? I was gonna say, I miss bats whenever I look over at chat. And then all of a sudden it's just, oh hi, and there's Lorelai again. I should probably maybe I should swap my chats one of these days. But yes, just create a calm vibe. Good boy. Thank you. Hopefully that's a sign I've been creating a calm vibe. Waiting for the next 4 weeks for a downsize. Yep. You know, anyone who's got piercings, you know, I've got a few. At least 6 that y'all know about by now. But where you watch the days and go, okay, it's good to get a downsizing because a piercing where you've got too much length on it, it can be a little annoying when you either catch it or just knock it, where the less risk you have of banging into a piercing, the less risk you have of hurting it, and, you know, hurting yourself in the process. Because it's certainly not fun if you whack a piercing, and then all of a sudden it's just like, oh, I did not like that. And then you go see your piercer, and they go, oh, yeah, you got a bump, you agitated the thing, so, you know, chill it out, cool it out, don't touch it, but stuff like that. She won't cry or scream when she gets a needle, but she will bawl her eyes out if you leave the room. Separation anxiety. There's certainly different triggers that you're operating on, where one is a sensitivity to pain, and one is an emotional sensation. I'll give you a close-up of the piercings. So it's a little hard to show from this angle. If I pulled up my ref sheet, I could show you. But so I've got both of my lobes pierced. I've got 2 helixes that are on my... I've got 2 helixes on my left ear. And then I got the nip-nops. So those are at least the 6 that y'all can see. But yes, those are my piercings. Are we talking like model piercings or IRL piercings? Yes. Excuse me. Feels like there's been a little... Did someone bring a cat into the room? All of a sudden, I'm sniffling going... Okay, what's going on? What's going on? No, probably just dust. So excuse the allergies as they are. But yeah. Take care of your piercings. Take care of your stuff. Piercings look cool. But make sure there's no complications. There's been a few fan art variations that have offered a few other things like tongue piercing. A few other creative ideas. But those at least are the ones that I have. So some people have seen me with some other piercings, depending on what manifests in their mind when they visit here. 2 IRL, 1 on each ear on the lobes, and 2 on your model that are ear cuffs on one ear. Oh yeah, and I guess I should also mention that, so I've got my ear cuff on my right ear, which y'all can see. So, just, so that big pixely Tetris thing that I got, that's my ear cuff, but that's not an actual piercing. Corset ooh, ah, ow, oh, yeah, that is, that's an intense one. That is pretty hardcore, and I respect anyone who makes choices to get very heavy modification piercings like that. Be extremely careful with something like that. But, so what's the look on the security guard when they give me the wand thing down my body? Smiles big and wide. Sometimes winks. Sometimes gives me a little card and says, "Psst, call me." Totally true story. It's cited on Wikipedia. But yeah, piercings can be cool. Now I'm personally a fan of piercing versus stretching. There's only one pair of piercings that I've stretched once. But I tend to just, like piercings, like the jewelry. Got the gem of the first memory I ever collected on my left ear.
Mihai,
Nope.
get the banana!
Ow!
Potassium.
Speaking of which, banana piercings, which are a thing, depending on what shape they take. Can I fly? So I don't so much fly as I do float a little bit. I'm not a dragon with wings, but I do have a very light step, so can move very quietly when I go, and just a little bit of bounce to get up in the air. Can float above the ground as well. And if you ever look in the description and you see my little chibi look, that's the kind of fun I can have, where I can lay back and just, suspend on my tail, or kind of get just a little bit off the ground. So, and that's the thing, is to stretch a piercing with a bigger gauge, it doesn't really, if you do it right, it doesn't hurt. Of course, you want to be careful with it, because you can obviously cause any trauma. Something can go very wrong. But if you do it right with a professional piercer, they will stretch things very slowly. So after a period of time, they'll check and go, okay, it's healed enough. Now we can put in one size up, which, it'll feel, it'll be a squeeze, but it shouldn't actually cause any significant pain beyond that. Just, it causes what's called micro tears, so that it slowly expands what is the hole, or could just describe it as a wound, stretches out very slightly so it'll heal with this larger diameter of whatever it is that you're trying to stretch out to gauge. Afraid of needles, because when you were younger, you get shots, be like 4 doctors. Oh yeah, it's kind of interesting how with needles, you can definitely get it's not so much the needle itself, it's the experience surrounding it. So I definitely understand that. Allergies when wearing cheap jewelry, yeah. And that's another thing, is for anyone who looks to wear some jewelry. So for most of what I have is titanium. But nickel is something you're going to want to watch out for. Now, I don't think many people, I gotta correct myself. I don't think many people will use nickel for anything that can be pierced, because nickel is one of those metals that a lot of people have a lot of allergies to. And silver can be kind of up or down. That gold and titanium, they tend to be the safest ones to go with if you've got any kind of allergy. Then stainless steel, then silver. So be cautious with it. And again, the biggest thing is just, nickel or anything that is cheap costume jewelry. That's where you'll want to be careful with things. And yeah, fake gauges, fake plugs, gauge things, it's interesting, but those are definitely a thing. I'm trying to think if I'd seen them, because I don't know. I want to say they're probably larger than a quote-unquote standard piercing, which for many things like lobes would be an 18 gauge. I forget the metric measurements, so any of y'all who are familiar with the metric conversion, let me know. But where you would have 18 gauge for lobes or something like 16 gauge for helix. And then they vary wherever it is that you happen to get pierced, so those are the ones you'd have. I want to say 18 gauge is common for a lot of facial piercings. Anyone who does septum piercings, you could correct me on that one. Nip-nops are usually 12 or 14 gauge, depending on anatomy. But just about anything can be sized one way or another. Just those tend to be the quote-unquote standard, where you'll start out with them. Thankfully, white gold is the thing for people like silver. Right. Now, you might need to get it rodentized every now and then, because the white gold will it'll wear off very slowly over a period of time. And I'll say, silver to me, I like seeing the tarnishing of silver. So for anything that is safe to wear as silver, I think silver takes a very beautiful characteristic versus gold, which white gold just kind of gets dull. And so then you want to end up doing an ultrasound cleaning so you can fully just refresh it, brighten it up. So stainless steel is a nope. Interesting. So y'all have allergies to things used in stainless steel, I'm guessing. White gold, yep, silver or titanium. Yeah, titanium or gold are the safest options for the medical element, but the bigger thing, especially if anyone here is thinking about piercings, interesting. This is one of the things I love about just talking, is how we end up on different topics wherever we might happen to go. And in the case of, it's good to have things that are safe, and you can always throw in some costume jewelry in there at some point or another, but don't wear it for a long period of time for risk of it reacting. But the bigger thing is just avoiding the trauma. So as we were talking about with Ash, whenever he's a side sleeper, as he said. So when you lay over and accidentally might squish a new piercing on your ear, that's not too good. It's not fun. It will then jiggle it around the piercing, around the hole it was pierced through, which can cause trauma and cause issues healing if something goes wrong. So just being careful with that, which, again, is hard if you're a side sleeper or something like that. Oh, you pain. Hi, Diamond. Perfect timing. Discussing pain. Okay, so that's what a fake plug looks like. Got it. Okay. Yeah. Certainly nothing that can accomplish, and so seeing what a fake plug looks like, where, can make something look like it is a larger piercing than it is. Nothing that looks stretched too much, like, say, 00 gauge plugs, where you can just see straight through because they're so wide. Stainless, gold, titanium, yep, dangerous, cheap substitute. And at least for some things, you can get away with silver. I've certainly worn silver jewelry in the past, but mostly low piercings. Some things are much slower to heal, like helixes. Helixes you want to be very careful with. And I'd say nip-nops as well, probably. Yeah, you want to have titanium and things like that. Or gold. It just makes me think, for anyone who saw the Chapel Roan dress. So it was about a month ago. I forget whatever music award it was, where Chapel Roan, because it's Chapel Roan, she comes out in a dress which is just suspended from nipple piercings. Which later learning, okay, the things were not real. This was some prosthetics that were adhered, so it looked like they were nipple piercings, which I kind of went, you know, these look like they're a little too perfect. Something seems off about them. But to see a dress, hanging from nipple piercings and just looking at going, one wrong step. Fear. Hello, Dex. I know what a topic to come in on. Good day to you. Indeed. So yeah, the Chapel Roan dress filled me with fear. Be very cautious with what you hang from those things. Aren't helix piercings a cross design? You might be thinking of industrial piercings. I was trying to think, but so a helix piercing will normally be a labrae, where you'll have your shank and pin and then a flat backing. I think if I understand what you mean by a cross piercing. But so normally it'll be punctured like the lobe, just usually starting at a different gauge. So in my case, mine are 16 gauge versus 18 gauge lobes. New reaction art? I know, chat's been spoiling me. Y'all have been dropping in new art in the Discord, and I appreciate y'all. Which I think Nia-chan, you had headed out by now, but... is Nia-chan? I think Nia-chan did call it night. But, yes, new art. Oh, there is new art. More art crimes, more creation. Oh, paper doll. I get one too. Oh, that's what you, I forgot. That's what you did with Tony, where you turned Tony into a paper doll. You know, okay, let's add this in the mix. Let's do a quick little refresher. There we go. And add this in, add directory, SFW art folder. There we go. Start from the top. There we are. I mean, of course, I'm happy to be a muse for any of you all creating. And I will still say, create original art. I'm a bit selfish, where I certainly love to see some things that involve yours truly. But just create art. As long as you're not creating of art of anyone who's an asshole, character or otherwise, well, you know, even character assholes, there's some fun to be had in that, where you get your problematic, I can fix him type character, your woobified, worst person in the world kind of villain, which you can have fun with. Just don't make art of actual assholes. Because then, I'm gonna be kind of side-eyeing you and judging your taste. But, you know, art has a right to exist. So yeah, that should show up in the mix at some point. We have, do I have a, that's not how you type paper. There we go. No, not toilet paper. There we go, that works. Speaking of art, hi Max, how you be? Should have told you I was spelling your name wrong. I might have even just glanced over it, to be honest. Sometimes it's interesting. There's been some studies of people who have determined the way the human mind works, where as long as the first few letters are correct in a word, your mind will just gloss right over it, because it is doing the fast math to process through how it's doing the quick math of, that's the word, you just don't even notice any spelling errors. So I just don't think I noticed that. Also, I feel like I need to separate out lurking check-in versus regular check-in. I made it so you still get the same point. Interesting. Are they keeping different tallies? I might need to check that. You know what? I'm going to turn off the lurking check-in, because I did want to toss that in there just so y'all... I might change that, where in case, if you just want to kind of poke and say, oh, hi, I'm still here, But I wanted to include that because, you know, I appreciate if y'all just want to hang out. I will... Or, you know, you could do that to stay engaged, too. Just slap a collar on me like, you're mine now. Did I end the stream already? What are you talking about? I'm going. I mean, as far as I know, unless something has happened, that we're still going. Is something else happening? What's happening? Nope, we're going. Anyway. Ow. I'm glad y'all would still love me if I were a worm. It sounds like I do need to stretch, though. You know, loosen up, loosen up. There we go. Get a few cracks. Just a little. There we are. That's better. Yeah. And so, yeah, I know if I do ask for anything to make sure I'm okay on stream, I know since I'm right now, normally I stream to Twitch, YouTube, and then Twitter in there as well. And I've changed things up a few times to kind of bounce around and go, hey, where's everyone? Where might people kind of be paying attention, checking some things out? So sometimes trying out a few new sites. But, yeah, those are the normal three. Ow! Also, bat. Whenever I see the get along collar, that means we just went past bats. Marine did that one. Got Marine doing that one. We got Ash and Tuxel who collabed on this one. Game night. I haven't shown y'all my alt outfit, but basically my Gambit cooking beignets look. Rock and roll crop top. Yeah, not a croc top. All of a sudden, it's like I got merch from Croc where it's just... What would a croc top be? I wonder what Broski would put on his merch like that. I don't know. I don't think he has clothes yet. Anyway. Put them in the get-along chair. Oh, no! I feel like that's going to have to go into the alt tag, because if we're in the get-along chair, that means one's got to be on the other's lap. I think it's a little too late for me to tease the puppy cat boy right now, so. Put me in Jay's outfit. You know, it's kind of interesting. So our styles, I'm trying to think how best to describe it. Like, I feel like we've got a good contrast to our styles that I know he's got the comfy alt vibe. And y'all see what I look like. So he's got the ripped jeans and the hoodie. I don't wear a lot of hoodies, to be honest. I actually, yeah, I pretty much never wear hoodies. I've got one top that I haven't put on. One of these days I'll maybe show y'all some different looks, but the one quote-unquote hoodie that I have is really more of a hoodie shirt. And it's one that's got a Renaissance-style lace top. So, you know, even with hoodies, I like to be extra. Comfy VR man boobs. Y'all just want the comfy man booba. Just waiting for Jay to be in his Bara era where all of a sudden he shows up, it's like, hey guys. And then he's got a new redeem, which is just add booba. And just boom! Explodes out. Suddenly he's got about a 56-inch chest. So all of a sudden we're because I think Jay's piercings are all his ear piercings. I don't think he has anything below the ears, last I checked. Just be his shirtless taco. Right. Versus me just here with my nip-nops hanging out. Gotcha. And hello, welcome in. Someone, I was going to say wake him up, but knowing Jay, he's probably still awake right now. So I won't bother the man. He could be, let him be sideways. Let him be sideways. Let him have beautiful dreams. Y'all are in my care to be comfy, to be cozy. And then inevitably pelt me with everything. You pelt him with fish, you pelt me with banana. Your OCs, I mean, Ash, that's just future content that you're going to be making up. I mean, considering I've got your pants before, and it was just, the bottom half equivalent of the button hanging on for dear life. One wrong move, and suddenly there's going to be a very long shadow cast in the light. Born 5 minutes after midnight of being born on April Fool's Day. Well, happy birthday on March 32nd. Or April 2nd, I'm not sure which one you mean by that. If you introduce your OC to me, she'll say that I sound familiar. I suppose I should make her up a drink in the lounge. Ruby kiss, perhaps. Sing a song, even. I've not listened to that song, speaking of which, in a long time. Ow! I've not listened to that song in a minute. Exactly. These are
Potassium.
These are horizontal hours, so everyone can happily be at peace. Thank you. Man, y'all are playing hot and cold with me. Ow. Miss me, actually. I'm not even paying attention. It's like instinctively just embrace the ow. Just Oh, it didn't hit. Oh, nice. But where were we going with that? Corset. Oh, corset. I mean, we've had a trend of a few people who've been having some fun with corsets recently. Certainly does take a little work to get into a corset. Anyone I know who likes wearing corsets. It's funny, there's a mindset of people who get into corsetry where they want the corset so tight that they are within an inch of their innards being squished with not a millimeter between them. And anyone who likes wearing a corset, I've even had a few people who in some of their dreams want to get corseted up. And so it's a matter of, all right, grab the strings, place your foot on the wall to stabilize, and yank! And you'll usually hear a cry of pain that resolves into a feeling of ecstasy. And I kind of am like, you good, man? You good, fam? Are you all right? And they're like, no, I'm good. Happy as a clam. Yeah, you go do that. Just let me know in case you need me to adjust anything. So, no judging. Just a funny observation whenever anyone I know who likes wearing corsets comes by because they really just enjoy that yank. Something therapeutic, I guess. Corset vests for bartenders and butler suits. And I'll say, corsets are a very striking look, so Ash has put me in a corset before. And now I don't do the yank as hard as those who enjoy corsets. A corset is a type of garment that goes around the midsection and is designed with either plastic or steel boning. So it'll shape your body and then hold you in an upright position. So they were very popular in a lot of fashion eras in the past, especially the Victorian era. Generally a feminine garment, but there are some masculine equivalents. But they're designed to shape the body below the bosom and above the pelvis. So you can get a very curvy figure from it. And I'd say the masculine equivalent without that would probably be a vest or a waistcoat, depending on what part of the waking world you're in. Thought the masculine corset was first. You might be right. Because I remember hearing that apparently high heels were originally a masculine garment, used in combat, horse riding, nobility, and then they became popular in women's fashion, and so ended up going to the other side since they did very flattering things for the feminine form. So I might be wrong in that. Don't quote me on that. But at least knowing a lot of the popular knowledge of corsets in the modern era comes from things like the Victorian era. And just a lot of European fashion in general. Men in heels, yep, walk in them, deliver some painful kicks. And I think one of the things is just how much heel you're talking about, because there's certainly a difference between having, say, a 2-inch heel on a boot versus a high stiletto heel, which completely changes your posture when walking and applies a lot of different pressure to the feet, which is even one of the sad things, that heels can be very flattering, but you need to be careful because too much pressure wearing heels for too long can then start to cause foot problems from where you're placing all of the pressure when walking. And I will respect anyone who happens to be accomplished at walking in heels, especially at anything that is, I would say, like, 2-inch heel is very conservative. And throw in platform shoes in there as well. Platforms which are still a fairly ergonomic posture versus, I've got some chunky heels on my boots. So in fact, even, you know what? Here you go. Give you guys. I'll move the camera down. Here you go. Grippers. So I got some stompers on me. Big feet means big dragon. But yeah, that versus, say, a stiletto heel, or pick your option of choice for how heels could work. I was even thinking of, there was an insane heelless heel that existed for a period of time, and it was a Lady Gaga thing at one point, where she was wearing these massive boot heels that didn't actually have anything on the heel, but they were designed in such a way so that they curved downward, and it looked like, I'm trying to think how best to describe it, but basically looked like all the weight was on the bottom of the feet, kind of how you get double jointed feet in animals with paws. Fascinating look, looked terrifying. And cool at that. Time to do some art crimes. New goob. Oh. Also, I was just seeing Pipe Fox right here. I love that pipe. You know, from the artist who had popularized the pipe boxes, I forget his name off the top of my head. Look him up on YouTube, though. If you just do a search for Pipe Fox, where you get videos like Pipe Fox, you can't get rid of it. Just hilariously adorable animation of these guys. And, yeah, pipe foxes are cute little gremlins that just terrorize you, get into everything, and of course, you know, they got the wiles of a fox, so didn't get bodied by my tail, eh? Redeemed a good night. I think I might have missed that. Ah, there we are. Sophie, have a good night. Have sweet dreams. And as you drift away into a peaceful abyss, may you feel the warmth of your soul radiate through your body. And as you drift away into the visions of your mind palace, may you feel a light start to fill your soul and guide you on a path back to the waking world. So, until you return to the Zetaplex, good night. Interesting topics. You know, it was about maybe a little over half a year ago where I started doing much looser streams. Originally, I did things that were very focused on half an hour, maybe an hour, then we get into a game. But it's been nice to change up the vibe and just talk. And one way or another, what matters is bringing some form of enjoyment. I know sometimes some people are going, come on, change to a game, can we change things up? So I'm trying to think of new ways that I can find things for us to do. Like, I know for a while I was playing what I call W Place Where's Waldo, where we were doing games of trying to find pixel art that people were making on Wplace, which is a site where you have a map of the world and you claim you can draw on the world pixel by pixel, which was pretty cool. Although now, unfortunately, there's just been a lot of automatically, I don't want to say AI slop, but there's been a lot of just pasted slop, which it takes the fun out of it when you see what's the word I'm looking for? You just see a copy of an image with the limited GIF palette of everything that goes on the site, and it's just pasted on. It's boring. Because I think it's fun. I think it's fun when you're looking up what kind of art people have tried to make, because there's some really cool stuff. Sometimes also some comically sussy stuff, like, man, Dallas, Texas. Dallas, Texas, and the horniness of this city. Everything is bigger in Texas. And in Dallas, Texas in particular, we're just seeing massively oversized fetishy titties. We're seeing fat fetish, so other things that are much larger. And, then you just see the prophecy to the east of Dallas. Dallas will goon to pixel tits. And throw in some Bada art while we're there. There's like Bada Bowser, and there's like, God, there was a bunch of Bada furries. So Bada furries, big booby furries. Yeah, Dallas is freaky. Dallas definitely gets freaky. I'm like, man, y'all are unhinged. I appreciate this in a twisted way, but holy heck, y'all need Jesus. Literally all of Columbus, Ohio was 21 pilots. That's like Hurricane, Utah, which is just one giant shrine to Five Nights at Freddy's for, obvious reasons. And hey, Nibello, it's been a minute. Where's that little fox? Where is that fox? There is that. Not that one. Not that stinky dragon who needs a redesign. There is the fox. Hello. How you be? Fly around. I'm sorry, I know you haven't been able to pop in much, so welcome back. Hi. Fly now, little fox. The little fox fly got her way. Now, Tukes'll wake up so I can send you into the skies. Yeet. Let's get our next fox. You know what, Leon? There we go. Another fox. Fox, go up. Ah, yes. And the quest to find Buff Gummy Goo. We finally found him in Dundalk, well, it was close to Dundalk, Maryland. But yeah, that was one thing. There was a challenge where we were trying to find Buff Gummy Goo. And I could find just about anyone else from the Amazing Digital Circus at the time. Except for freaking Gummy Goo, which I was surprised going, how has no one taken the Gator Goo and turned him into pixel art? Even just lanky Gummy Goo, canon Gummy Goo. And it took hours to finally find Gummy Goo. Yeet. Collar back on. Bat, by the way. Bat. Can you have uppies? Yes, you can. We go from fox to lynx. Up you go. But finally finding frickin' Buff Gummy Goo. And I just go, man, bro, you getting shafted. I'm surprised for everyone who wants that gummy shaft. You get shafted, and it just took nothing. It took so long to find something. I think also I found something in Brazil, because Brazil has the record for the most art on this site. And it is insane. It is Brazil by a long shot. I think Germany was next, and then US was third. But if you wanted to look for something, chances are it was in Brazil. You think of anything, and someone's just like, you're going to Brazil! Sends you there, and then, boom, good luck. Yeet. Uppies. Now we're, here we go, Blue Rose. Got you. You get the next uppies. Given the presence of the crocs up north. Really? So is that actually a thing? Like in Queensland, is that a thing where that's where you'll get the crocodiles? Because knowing that crocs are native to Australia, I was trying to think where it was that you would encounter them. So, and I don't know if it's And are we talking where you'd get them kind of in a metropolitan area where Brisbane is kind of like Florida, where you just have random crocs that are in wetlands near the city, or are we talking more rural? But there are a lot. Okay. I'd love to visit Australia sometime. If I ever stepped into the waking world. Suggest looking up Thousand Blossoms Bloom. Not gonna lie, okay? Noted. Mostly Cairns area. Okay. And excuse me if I mispronounce something, as I know there's some Australian towns and pronunciations that I might butcher just because the phonetics are something unto their own. Let me say that for later. Thousand Blossoms Bloom. Copy pasta. Thousand Blossoms Bloom. Thousand Blossoms Bloom Crocodile. What's this? Oh. This feels like a meme, like the succulent Chinese dinner. Ah, yes, I see you know your judo well. Democracy Manifest. Which, for anyone who's not familiar, I don't feel like going the effort of pulling it up, but a hilarious video of a petty criminal being arrested as he was at a Chinese restaurant and was trying to skip out on the bill. And so as he's being carried out, he's like, "What is the charge for enjoying a succulent Chinese dinner? I don't understand. Get your hands in this. Get your hands off my penis!" So on and so forth. And just this Aussie man who is railing in the most hilarious diatribe and has created such memorable lines from it that it just goes more and more off the rails as he's, trying to make it sound like he's being abused by the cops, as being shoved into a cop car for skipping out on the bill. But yes, finally, as he's being pushed and just like, "Ah, yes, I see you know your judo well. A meal? A succulent Chinese meal?" Which was then later immortalized in What We Do in the Shadows. So, also our little homage every time we get Bat Zetta show it up, where it's just, Bat? That video, I'll be real with you. I had not heard about it until just a few months ago. So seeing something from so long ago that has been in the zeitgeist of the internet, that's one of the fascinating things, is the internet is endless and just waiting for a mate. So yes, I suppose one of these days, gentlemen, dreamers, may I interest you in a meal? Let me try that again. Chat, may I interest you in a meal? A succulent Chinese meal? Ah, yes, I see you know your judo well. Just waiting for a mate. I'm going to add that into my mix. All right. Save that for later. Save the silly. Let's see. Just waiting for a mate. In the succulent oh my god. I'm like, does that have to go under the alt tag if it includes the line, "Get your hands off my penis"? I gotta think about that. Aussie humor is something else. Oh my. I also, there's one of these days it would be fun to step in the waking world and visit. I'm just thinking of, it's a very loose meme, but also the imagery of Australia being like, it is to Britain what Texas is to the United States. So you just get this British Texas where you get outback, you get a flavor of everything, you get a fierce independence, and just all of these just all of these memes and bits of personal identity that it's its own thing. Don't tempt me. Oh no. Of course, mind you, the joke about the line is if that's the part of the scene being depicted, someone's hands have to be nowhere near the actual crotch. Because it's just the guy throwing out an absolute crazy line. Because I don't know if it's... I think the succulent Chinese meal is probably the most apropos part. That's the one that, just because of the strange inflection and cadence, has just made it so iconic. Again, the fact that it ended up being popularized in a show decades later of, "Gentlemen, may I interest you in a meal? A succulent Chinese meal?" Thousand Blossoms Bloom guy is Bob Catter. He's from Croc Country, North Queensland, and occasionally descends from cairns to grace us with more insane stuff. You know, also, I was just thinking about this for a second. So I was thinking of Croc and Envy again. So, the Aussies. And while he's a Deinozuchus, I think he is from Queensland. So that's just all, that's kind of hilarious. That's like all of a sudden just a Texan VTuber going, "All right, well, I'm a Longhorn YouTuber. I come from Austin, Texas, and you can call me Bevo. Because there are two things that come from Texas, stairs and queers. Lucky for you, I'm both of them. Here's my number, wink." The sussiest Bara Texan YouTuber. Probably furry as well, just we're throwing that in there. So yeah. I'm always curious if whenever there's any interesting things, like I know Florida has the Florida Man memes. So it sounds like Queensland has a little bit of that as well, where Queensland has got a little bit of a Florida Man kind of thing to it. Because I've had people visit before in this world where they've come from either Victoria, they come from Perth, Queensland. I think NSW as well. New South Wales. I knew some people from Perth as well, out in West Australia. I was trying to think. I feel like there's a state in there I know South Australia, which is Adelaide. I don't think I've had anyone visit from South Australia yet. And I feel like there's one other state I'm missing in there. Queensland is like 5 states in one, and it's definitely Florida and Texas. Normally you say Queensland. Okay, so you actually say them. Okay, got it. It's not like in the US where they have Maryland. Not Maryland, Maryland. And hello, Wendy, come on in. So good to know for local pronunciations where you have Queensland, but then Brisbane where you get a vowel shift. Northern Territory, there we go. Northern Territory, Tasmania, Western... Because I was going to say Western Australia, I think that's where Perth... I think that's the state Perth is in. ACT... What, I'm trying to think, though, ACT? When does that one come down to? 'Cause Tasmania... Now, New Zealand's its own thing. I'm trying to think what I'm forgetting about with geography. Maybe we should play some GeoGuessr one of these days. Okay, so that is Western Australia. I thought so. Bat? I always notice that it's a Lorelei by the time we get past Bat. Oh, bats. Maybe we should do some GeoGuessr one of these days. Couldn't imagine coming from somewhere called NSFW would have you questioning a few things. Well, Pars call it the land down under. As they just hand you a Vegemite sandwich. Pick an animal, any animal, like a normal animal or a fantasy animal, including Durgans. You know what? I'm going to be a basic bitch. Wolp. Big, old, majestically derpy wolp. Let's get some awoo in there. So there we got our breakdown of the big cities. Brisbane in Queensland, Sydney in New South Wales, yeah. Melbourne has Victoria, Melbourne in the state of Victoria. Hobart in Tasmania, Canberra and... Okay, that's what I was thinking of. I couldn't remember what state Canberra was in. Okay. Darwin, Northern Territories, Adelaide and South. Okay, there we go. So yeah. Awoo. All the awoos. Everyone could awoo right now. So Danny, funny you mention that. How there's some memes about some towns. I think I might have mentioned this before. But how Pennsylvania in particular has some... Pennsylvania, I don't know what they were on, but especially in Amish country like Lancaster County. They just came up with some names that you pass through Blue Balls, Pennsylvania on your way to Intercourse, which is then on the way to Paradise. Or you could take a digression and end up in Accident, Maryland. Either way, you're going to get a lot of satisfaction along the way. Yeah. It's funny how, okay, so Canberra basically being like the Washington, D.C. of Australia, because I couldn't remember if it was its own state, but how it's kind of separated out to be its own thing, so Victoria's like, we don't want to deal with it. Get the fucking federal city out of here. Gross. Ew. Yuck. No. Yeah, because I know about Darwin. I know one of the major tourist trains runs up to Darwin. Gonna lurk. Enjoy your lurk. Stop drawing once I said that. What'd I say? Was it a woo or was it when I'm talking about Blue Balls in Intercourse, Pennsylvania? Again, Lancaster County, I don't know what it is in Lancaster that they just got some unhinged stuff. Great history. Good food. But certainly a lot of, there are a lot of choices in the naming. I'm not even joking. If any of you want to look it up, you can look up Blue Balls, Pennsylvania, Intercourse, Pennsylvania, and Paradise. It's by the Strasburg Railroad. So any of y'all right now who autistically enjoy trains, Paradise, Pennsylvania is where the Strasburg Railroad runs to. Ask me why I know that. Smiles big and wide, I like trains. Watching this on your TV and chatting on your laptop. Blueberries. No, just Blue Balls. They just got no chill with that one. It's like in New Jersey. In the US, there are... It depends on state to state, but in the case of Jersey, well, every state will have state routes. Collaring you for that. I can't believe you. Can't believe you, Max. Scandalous. Oh boy. All right. Well, at least the head pad. I'll take the head pad. But, so, state route. New Jersey has State Route 31, which, or Route 31, depending on however you choose to pronounce it. Route 31 used to be Route 69. State Route 69. And it ended in Buttsville. Trenton to Buttsville. So someone had a very silly sense of humor like that. And Texas likes 69 so much, they've got 3 different I-69s. They've got I-69 West, I-69 East, and I-69 Central. And eventually, I-69 will go up the entire United States, north to south, at some point. But Texas just splits it off as like, we got 3 69s. Nice. But yeah, I'm not even joking. If you look it up, New Jersey, Route 31. Used to be Route 69. And they changed it because everyone with the mindset of a 12-year-old stole the signs. And they got so tired of people stealing the route signs. Route sign. One of those words that's just, how does it roll off the tongue? You got some people who say a router, some people who say a router. Route 69, Route 69, whatever it is. And hello, Raishu. Come on in. But yes, that was a legit thing. Everyone likes the funny number. And then, of course, there's US Route 69, which I think is in somewhere like Kansas City, if I remember correctly. I want to say it's Kansas City. Where's it run to? I think it runs somewhere in Texas. It's a long one. Route 420, yes. That does not surprise me in the least. Because, anyone who's got the mindset of a 12-year-old is like, funny number. Which even I fear now, oh God, I'm pretty sure there's an I-67 somewhere. All right, let's see. What's the case with the brain rot? Okay, there's US. There's US. Route 67. Oh, I know that one. Yeah, because it goes through Dallas. I forgot that. Man, I imagine a lot of people have been snatching that one up. So there's no I-67 yet, but there is Route 67. Oh yeah, and 69 goes farther east. That's right, it goes out towards Tyler. Yeah, Kansas City, Tyler, those two where I know it from. Anyway, I know, I'm bringing out all the brain rot. 68 plus or minus 1. Feel the pain. Sometimes you look at it and you just gotta laugh. It's just silly. Speaking of people from down under, hi Dandelion. We were just talking, I know you're a Kiwi, but we were talking a bit about Aussie humor for a second. So, for any meowdy, come on in, cowboy cat. Cowgirl cat, I suppose I should say. But yes, we're talking about US Route 67. We're talking about I-69. We're talking about New Jersey Route 69. We're talking about all the stupid funny numbers. Funny places, which if you understand Tagalog, yep. I believe it. There's, it really is funny, just some of the names people come up with. And I think at the time, many of them, they didn't think anything of it. They just, they just came up with a name. It's a name that just has taken a sillier context as time has gone on. You need noms. All right, just behave yourself. Be nice. I said behave yourself. You dig? Okay, here you go. Now you can just chill down. Hey, bro. Bruh. Broska. Titty bong in Victoria. I love it. Just don't crack your teeth on the scales, you dig? We got Titty Bong in Victoria, Australia. We got fucking Austria. Oh god, the Brits have so many stupidly funny names. I can't even think of them. There we go. All right, off with you. Questionable store names. No, that just makes me think. I think it was somewhere in Southeast Asia, but I don't know if I want to say it on stream because someone had dedicated a store to that very loud, shouty Austrian man who we don't say his name because we'll get demonetized because of the many, many very terrible things he did in the world. And according to Simon Whistler, apparently like farting a lot, so you know. Bit of a gross creep. Aussie was a while ago. You remember it coming up in here. Oh, yep. Yeah, Aussie, I mean, talk about a man who left this mortal plane with no regrets. I can't think of anything that man did not do. So, you know what? That's the life of a rock star. Funny Filipino school names. Because I don't know if I would necessarily get the joke just because I don't speak Tagalog. But I understand where you get some humor like that. Even Japanese for a second. How there's a famous story called the Ise Monogatari, the Tales of Ise, following the famous Japanese noble Ariwara Narihira, who would just go around and romance women and be just so charming and so effervescent. So then someone takes the Ise Monogatari, the Tales of Ise, and comes up with the Nisei Monogatari, the fake tales, and basically turned Ariwara Narihira into a Heian era Austin Powers. Just tomcatting it around. And, you know, the fact that this was made 1,000 years ago, and people were just being completely stupid going, tee hee 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 hee, we can shift the language and make it a funny. Any Japanese puns where it's just something like that. Yeah, I'm a sucker for puns. Or funny things where there was a punchline. I heard this from that voice actor I sound like when he showed up once. And a story of how he played a character who was the best kisser in Paris. Texas. So, you know, you get this guy who's a big space cowboy, is like, Shep Johnson, nice to meet you. Best kisser in Paris. Texas. Dad has collected over 1,000 rock CDs and like 200 are Aussie. Yep. Yep. Bet there's a song about it. One of the world's longest place names right there in New Zealand. I don't know. I mean, if it's anything like the infamous Welsh place name, Llanfair so and so forth. I'm trying to think, what is that again? Llanfair. Don't even ask me to pronounce Welsh. Welsh. Llanfair Pwyl Gwingil. What is it again? What is it? Llanfair Pwyl Gwingil Gogeri. Welsh has too few vowels. I've never learned the phonetics of that, so it's just bleh. But Open Road, town in New Zealand, posted on Discord. Actually a good song. But yeah. List of Filipino curse words. Uh-oh. Scandalous. And then a thick puppy I see that Nia Chanda posted yesterday. Missed that one. I'm gonna say, you know what, let's go goofy. Let's go for a big awoo. A big awoo whoop. There it is. I'll take a look at that later for the place that's hard to pronounce. Which I also just love the Gen Z internet as it is, which it's just, you know, whoop. Sheep. Catto. I'm trying to think what actually is the one that they do for cat normally. But you know, the funny, the silly. Let's see. Hoga boga! Finally we get Tuxel. We were discussing what we say 3 times to summon you. So anyway, plague doctor, plague doctor, plague doctor, to tell you a story. Kratos from God of War. Yeah, I'm familiar with Kratos. But I couldn't say too much aside from, boy! That's about the most I know. And Blue Rose, may you have a good night. May you have sweet dreams. And as you drift away into a peaceful abyss, may you feel the warmth of your soul radiate through your body and fill your mind with a relaxing sense of peace as you drift away. And once you're rested, may you have a light that can guide you on your way back to the hours of the waking. Until you return to the Zetaplex. Good night. You are sat and ready for the exam, crosses legs. Just plops down, just gets up in a sitting posture, floats over the exam table, and just legs crossed, plops directly down. Beautiful. Bruh, the spelling. I can't even pronounce it. Taumata Wakatangi Hangako Au Tamatea Turi Pukaka Pi Maunga Horonuka. Yeah, I give up. Exactly what your older brother calls you. Boy! I see. Oh, how they spell Kratos. Oh, so there's a meme where they misspell Kratos. Got it. Did I actually get some of that correct? Because given, if you were to ask me to speak in a Kiwi accent, I would butcher it because Kiwi's got some interesting vowel shifts that I have trouble recognizing. Like, I'd have to listen probably when you're streaming and doing things, or a few other Kiwis that I know. But, did get some of it, okay. And also, correct me if it's not polite, because at least my understanding was that is fine to say, but if it's not, let me know. Your whole family went to bed at 7 a.m. What are they doing? Like getting up for church at the crack of dawn or something? How much? Man, no fun. The night is young. 7 p.m. is when the world starts to come to life. The sun sets. The beauty of the twilight sinks in. The stars glisten in the sky like jewels. The night is young. Deep ash voice, I see. Got some of it just about this guy named Tamatea who traveled all over New Zealand. Fam ain't religious, just everyone's tired. Everyone is just conking out like, I just want to sleep, man. 7 a.m. or 7 p.m. Big Awu Wolf. I feel like too big and we're going into dire wolf territory. So I think I don't know entirely the thing. So, I'm going to say a large, full-sized wolf. Oh, look, waifus! And hello, Terry. Welcome in. Welcome in, Raiders. I am Mihai Zetta. I am the Dream Dragon. Welcome to the Zettaplex, your escape from it all. Rest your weary soul, chillax a little bit, and don't worry. Your visit will only cost you a memory for as long as you wish to stay, rather. I apologize, I'm a little tongue-tied right now, but welcome in. Giving a shout-out right now. How are you doing tonight? And if I may ask, what brings you in? What were you doing? So, go check out Terry's stuff. I'm going to take a little look right now. Twitch.tv/Terry Kunage. And if I mispronounce that, let me know. But, hi, what were you doing? I see some Sonic art. Ooh, are you doing sprite artwork? Let's see, music producer, singer, rapper, sprite animator. Nice-oo, nice-oo. Oh, heck. All right. Let me know. Ads are over. Lol. Let me get that in there for when that happens. Oops. And I sent that over to YouTube. I screwed that up. Hold up. Remove. Switch over. Different one. There we go. There we go. So, yes, let me know once you have made it in, as I was just checking out your channel, because it looks like you were doing some sprite artwork. There we are. So yes, I'm sorry if you missed all of that, but just welcoming you in and welcoming in your raiders. So I appreciate you stopping by. I was just checking out your channel a little bit. It looks like you were doing some sprite artwork. I see some Sanix in there. But let's see, got that, and then Shinobi Art of Vengeance. Ooh, we're doing some classic gaming tonight. Nice, nice. But thank you very much for joining. Hopefully it was a good stream. Joining in the late night hours as it is. Sign the terms of service. Yes, everyone is more than welcome. As long as you are of a good soul, rest, recharge. This is your place to dream and let your mind wander. And of course, as I said, might have been caught by an ad, but it'll only cost you a memory. So we're just vibing tonight, chilling out. Oh, you're part of Checkpoint. Okay. So yeah, gonna have to check out your stuff a little bit later. But if anyone, I dropped that link before, so go check out some of Terry's stuff. And make sure to rest, recharge, all the various self-care stuff that, everyone says we should do as entertainers. Ow. Kunaj. Okay, now I see how to pronounce your name. I just saw the correction as I was checking out your about page. So there we go. Ash whacking me with a worm. I can't believe it. Whacking me with my own worm. Scandalous. Anyway, as you can see, everyone just likes to terrorize me. I provide this calm, relaxing environment, and they're throwing worm versions of me, and then they're slapping a collar on me, and then they're trying to download me. And not even head pats. Not even head pats. That's your cue, chat! Smiles big and wide. Speaking of which, bat. So. Oh, thank you. Not that! I try to be soothing, and then all of a sudden, everyone just drops all that.
Mihai, get the banana!
Ow!
Potassium!
Unbelievable. All of y'all are not getting nice dreams tonight. I'm going to make sure that your dreams
Welcome, dreamer.
are moist. But thank you very much, Terry. Okay, now at least that one I'm okay with. Bye, Queen. You see, everyone picks on me. But yeah, for everyone I dropped the shout out, so go check out some of Terry's stuff, doing some retro gaming, does some music work, does some sprite artwork. I know I tend to rate a lot of art streamers, so I appreciate you dropping by so I can check out some more of your stuff. Especially really good for cozy vibes. Late night chill time. And yeah. I tend to jump around a lot, so either we have just chatting stuff, or sometimes everyone just getting all the redeems. Oh, enjoy this MTT brand concussion, darling. MTT brand pain for when you are saying no, but you really mean yes. The safe word is MTT. Yes, all of you have been pelting with everything. You're getting moist dreams tonight. Whatever it is, you will get it, but you will feel slightly moist and slightly sticky and slightly just a little bit too warm. You're welcome. I mean, so, and I know for any of y'all who are on the YouTube side, unfortunately, some things, only because I don't have integration, I don't have the ability to let you play with certain things. Like stream avatars, I know there's an ability to customize yourselves on the Twitch side. I think there is a way to do it on YouTube, but I don't know how to do it yet. Ow. So some of it is just that I don't know how to integrate it. So I try to do a little research on and off, but that's just YouTube things. Not to discourage y'all from enjoying yourselves on YouTube, but it is one of those things that's harder for me to make some of the things work. Moist plague I mean, what? Right. All of a sudden, just a wet plague doctor wearing nothing but the mask emerges from a pool. Just stepping out slowly, seductively, pushing back their hair. Just looking down with the mask, which has a very carefully concealed snorkel, so you know it still looks hot. And just dripping. There's a render of that, hold on. Of what? Don't give ideas, you're welcome. You know I always want to inspire arts crimes. Much as I enjoy seeing fan art, whenever it's something original and I just hear that he in fact I'm picking up he flying fox. Waiting for me to see the redeem. Was there another redeem? What was that redeem that I missed? Yeet. Speaking of which, spoiler. there we go. There we go. What was the redeem that there was? There's... Okay, Dandelion, I see a redeem. Just got lost in the chaos. Dandelion, may you have a beautiful night. May you have sweet dreams. And as you drift away into a peaceful abyss, may you feel the warmth of your soul spread through your body and fill your mind palace with a feeling of peace. And as you close your eyes and drift away into the abyss, may you see a gentle light that guides your way back to the waking world. So until you return to the Zettaplex, good night. Pool filled with San Pellegrino. I don't know if that would be fun to swim in. It sounds hot. It sounds very expensive. A pool of carbonated water. How would you keep that carbonated, I wonder? I gotta think about that. I know I'll probably be going for a little bit longer. I might send you guys off in about, I don't know, about 15 minutes-ish. Because we've got a few who are going super late tonight. Exceptionally well-timed soul. Indeed, indeed. Check memes. I saw Tuxel. I knew you were going to be... I knew you were going to be summoned the moment that existed. Indeed, Plague Doctor stepping out with just a glistening wet body. Oh my god. Y'all are something else. Thirsting in my chat. Man, I'm gonna have to allow y'all to jump in the pool at some point. Which, speaking of which, I know it is hidden with the fan art, but there we go. A little bit of the pool right there. Cannot forget, yes. The baby girl asshole. All over the block, man. Oh, my. And good night, Jesse, on the YouTube side. Get some rest. One of these days, I'll figure out how to make the redeems work. I wish YouTube integration worked better for things like that. Make the awoo this big or large. Y'all really want direwolf. Y'all want large wolf. Because I'm thinking probably goofy wolf. Not too majestic, because, you know, majestic wolves are very beautiful. But I feel like a bit too much of a basic bitch if I'm suggesting a massive, elegant, just cool wolf. It's funnier to see where they're just like overgrown puppies, just rolling over, just going, pet by tubby, pet by tubby, pet by tubby. Massive snoot that just will whack you in your face. Dream big, anything is possible. Big dreams, big tail. Oh no, everyone blowing up general. Oh. Aha. Oh. That looks like a werewolf. That looks like some werewolf stuff right there. Interesting. Oh my god. That, another shtick that I've been slow walking doing is a night where we just go through some spicy AO3 type stuff. And just specifically find the stuff that gets unhinged. I don't know if I'll end up violating TOS. I gotta research just what I can get away with that. But where I've been thinking about reading things like the infamous Harry Potter fanfiction, My Immortal. And just going as far off the rails as we can. If you could send me a picture of your dog in the sun and snow, I would love him. I want to see him. I am sure he is adorable. I love dogs. Dogs, foxes, wolves. I guess even coyotes. Let's throw coyotes in there too. But no, it's... I just about any kind of canine is adorable. Or canine-like creature. Hopefully they're sweet. Hopefully they're not going to bite my hand off. You know, at least the scales give a little extra protection. Do I want one of your puppies? Possibly. Hillstra. Okay. What are you dropping with more lore decks? Oh, yes. Gotta go, so throwing MTT brand pain at me. For all of your painful needs. And hello, Harmony. Welcome in on the YouTube side. Gonna go for a little bit longer, just a little bit. As I gotta figure out where to send y'all on off to in a little bit, because we got a few good options. Hilda! Oh my, so there is Rain stuff. And for anyone who's not familiar, we're talking about Rainimator right now, which is Minecraft YouTuber. Does a lot of very well 3D animated stuff. I believe in Blockbuster? Or I think it's pretty sure it's Blockbuster. Or is it fully animated using Blender and tools like that? Won't bite, just have to give him peanut butter sandwich and he will love you. Easy. Cinema 4D, okay, thank you. Okay, so it is traditionally animated versus Blockbuster. There's some wild stuff when it comes down to Minecraft and just voxel animation. And it's interesting how sometimes you end up being able to tell a very stylized... Well, it's interesting how even with reduced detail, you can still tell a story that's got the same depth. Cinema 4D, yeah. And Ash, may you have a good night. May you have sweet dreams. And as you drift away into the peaceful abyss, may your mind be in a place of rest and healing. And so, for the hours of the night that you have left, once you're ready to wake up, may you feel a warm light start to fill your mind and show you a path back to the waking world. And so, until you return to the Zetaplex, good night. Found out long ago that the brown wolf is canon. What is the brown wolf from? Because I wanted to make sure. I didn't want to assume this was like something that might possibly be like an Omegaverse kind of thing. I mean, no. Beautiful wolf. And seeing the woman there, I'm like, aha. I feel like we've got a story of some kind that's happening here. Using the color palette of that brown wolf. I know. Chat, behave. Unless I'm encouraging you to get worse. Smiles big and wide. Okay, good. Not Omegaverse kind of stuff. That gets into the unhinged reading when we go about doing that. Yeah, go back to Eep. I won't keep you all up for too much longer. In fact, even I will figure out where to go. And I think ears up. Definitely wolf with ears up. I can't think of wolves having their ears down too much. But before I start looking, Nibello, may you have a beautiful night. May you have sweet dreams. And as you drift back into the peaceful abyss of your sleep, may you feel a warmth that rests your soul and allows your mind to just wander. And so, when you're ready to wake up, may you have a light that guides you back to the waking world, and a feeling of peace to take on your next adventure. So, until we meet again, good night. How deep can my voice go? Well, I can certainly get down into a range like this. Normally, I tend to sit my speaking voice a little bit higher than that, but this is certainly somewhere I can go. Unless we're starting to go into monster tones in which
You can go into something super deep and even darker, like a werewolf just slobbering over you.
But that's usually an ASMR redeem. Throw money at me and I can certainly give something like that. Smiles big and wide. I know, a voice actor I sound like and people mistake me for sometimes. It's almost like we're brothers or something. Ooh, and some tantan men. Mine. Actually, what I'd love to get would be some tsukemen, which is a type of ramen. For anyone who's not familiar, tsukemen is a type of ramen that is a thicker broth and typically uses udon noodles. So, lol, Danny rips out the hearing aids. But, rips out the hearing aids like, all right, no, here we get the monster sexy stuff. Nope! Every time, right on cue. So, I think I will get ready to wind things down before it gets to be too late. But what do we want to do? What do we want to do? Let me see something. I'm gonna drop a poll for y'all, because I like to leave it to you to see where we can go, because we've got some options. Oh, dressing decks up like me, eh? I see. Here's our options. I'm going to throw out some options to you and give you about 2 minutes to set where we're going tonight. So, my Twitch streamers, viewers rather, my dreamers, let me know where I should set course. And hello, Crystal, welcome in. I'm afraid that you're catching us towards the end of the stream, but make yourself comfortable, as I'm going to get ready to send everyone off for a little bit before it gets to be too late. So if you'd like to drop in a vote, I'm probably going to do another stream tomorrow, ideally earlier. But right now, going to set our course.
Welcome, dreamer.
And hello, Ollie Polly. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome in. I know my streams are a little erratic for my hours, so trying to change it up a little bit. But if you'd like to drop a vote, anyone who'd like to vote, otherwise, my choice if we got a tie. But I want to figure out a good place to send y'all on off to. We've either got some cozy vibes, we've got some horror vibes. Almost 10 a.m., eh? Ah, okay. Over in Europe. Realizing you're making the wolf cute. I see. Which, I mean, you know. Wolves are very adorable creatures. Just very adorable, large creatures. I'm gonna need a tiebreaker in here at some point, so if anyone else wants to drop that in so we're not deadlocked. I know things are a little quiet right now, but At least one more. One more. Someone, throw something in. One more vote. Where are we going? Watch that last vote be a three-way tie. But... it's a tie! Fuck. Alright, let's try that again. Let's see, let's see. The wolf hair that you did, eh? Voting someone small. So let me see what we got right now, because I think who's... Gotta raid both now. God, I wish it were that easy. All of a sudden, just put up a vote going, all right, latch on to one link or another. You know what? Let's go. I think I know where we're gonna go, though. Dragon on Dragon raid. Well, DM, you didn't vote for it. Unless you were the one vote. Were you the one vote? I know, it's a little quieter than normal, so I'm just going, all right. If you did not vote in the actual poll, I'm going to be very angry at you for the fact that you did not make that easy for me. Tiebreakers. You just got here. Wake up faster next time. Skill issue. Bat in showcase. Oh, we got new bat? We got new bats? Oh. Ye food. Oh, that is adorable. Now, is that bats or we got a different bat with this? Do we have bat crossing into different universes? Recount because your vote didn't make it. You know what? Okay. I will do one more because now that we got it down to 2, can we get a rerun? But... of course, I know I don't always tell you all the details, so it's kind of... I like to add a little bit of randomness. There we go, though. We got our tiebreaker now. So y'all who are voting, we have variety, or we have another dragon. Let me know where you want to go, and I will set course for us to raid. So it sounds like some of y'all want. Yep, Plague Doctors, you know what your vote is, right? Of course, not judging one way or another. But seeing that these are our popular choices for tonight, let me know what you are feeling. Dragon on Dragon raid. Oh my god. DM about to start shipping us. What time am I streaming tomorrow? Yes. My streams tend to be very unplanned, so a lot of it right now is just when I can go live. We have Plague Doctor, we have Dragon. Make your choices. Make your choices. Anyone else getting in? I see. All right. Well, the decision has been made. So, I think it's time for us to set course and head on our way. Let me just pull up something else so we can get ready to go. And there we are. Progress has been made. Good. Well, everyone, my beautiful dreamers, thank you for spending your night with me. It's time to close your eyes and dive deeper, to sink into the abyss and find a light to reach back out towards the dawn. So, may your dreams be beautiful. May your healing be great. And may you be willing to wake up for another day. So, we've got a lot of wonderful souls in the Discord, which we've been posting some more stuff as we've been going on. So, share some magic. Share some good souls to create with. And just get out there and make some magic. So, we're going to get ready to raid out. I should actually make up a button where I make my raid command. But, let's see. There we go. Not that heart. Heart. Here we go. We're gonna change it up for this one since Dean wants to see some dragon on dragon action. So, I am sending you off to Peachy Dragon Dow. Did he go offline? Nope, there he is. So y'all be good for him. And we'll have some more fun soon. So, stay beautiful, my dreamers. And until we meet again, good night.